Hi friends, Amy Astrab with that Astra stamping. I finally got my paper pumpkin kit for November. This is such a cute little kit, and you can make some really great treat or gift holders with it. But I want to show you some alternatives and how I made them. So I got started and did a little bit of prep work last night when I got the kit. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've got prepared while we assemble it, and I'll walk you through what I've done. So, first card that I'm going to make is going to use this adorable little snowman, and we're going to make a card out of him. What you're going to notice is that I have made a score line on the snowman, and I made that score line to where it just caught the edge of his ear so that we can attach this part to a second. You can either adhere it to another snowman, but I wanted to create more. So what I did is I just took a 5.5 by 6.5 piece of cardstock, and I traced the image with a pencil. I just laid the snowman down, traced around it with a pencil, and used my handy paper snips to fussy cut the snowman. So what we're going to do, this is going to be the back of our card, and this is going to be our card front, and we're just going to make a card out of this cute little snowman. So they sent tear and tape, and that's what I'm going to use to adhere the two pieces together. And then it's going to take just a tiny piece on this ear muff, and I'm going to have to trim that up because it's not even wide enough for a whole piece of tear and tape. So, advice, I do not use my good paper snips to cut anything that has adhesive on it. So I have a separate set of very good, very nice, very sharp, they're little Fisker scissors that I've had for forever. And those are my scissors that I use anytime I'm cutting something with adhesive on it. It keeps all the sticky off of my good paper snips so that they're always ready to go. Now I've burnished this tear and tape down. That is the best way to use it so that it very quickly and easily, that backing will just peel right off of there that way. And I apologize that I am not on camera today. I have a lot of food allergies, for those of you who don't know me very well, and I ate something I shouldn't have apparently because my eyes are all swollen. And I'm having a lot of issues today, so I decided you just do not need to see me looking like that. I didn't want to scare any young children that might be in the room. So that is why we are just getting straight to business with these cards today. And just that quick and easy, we have got such a fun little snowman card that you can go ahead and you could put some kind of a decoration here. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp in here. Oh, what fun. And now I have got a card all ready to go. Now, obviously, these are not going to fit in a regular size envelope. So watch for a video on making envelopes to fit these, because I have not done that yet. But I will try to post another video for making envelopes for these cards, and I'll show you just how simple those are to make. Look for a descriptor, a link in the descriptions below on making envelopes for these. But I have made a larger card. So if you wanted it to be a standard card, cut your card base to 7 inches by 10.5 inches, and then score at 5 1/4, and you will have a card this size to use. I decided I wanted to make little pockets on the inside of my card. The measurements that I used for that were 8.5 by 10.5. It's scored in the center still at 5 1/4, but then I scored along the bottom edge right here at 1.5 inches. And then I just made a couple of quick little snips to the edges right here and here so that I could just fold these up. And I'm just going to add some tape here and here to make a little flap. And then I've got a couple of pockets. And what I can do with those pockets, I could put in hot chocolate mix. I could put in letters. I could put in gift cards. I could put cookies in there. Whatever I decide I'm going to put in there. I haven't gotten that far yet. But that is the plan, is to put something fun on the inside pocket of this card and send a fun little treat that way. So just a different kind of treat holder for me that's more like a card, but it could 100% be a card. And all you have to do is just add a little tear and tape to create the flaps on the inside of the card. So again, I'm just going to burnish that down real quick on all 4 of those pieces. And I'm going to come in with my take your pick tool just to kind of lift the edge of that up real easy. Same over here. And it's that quick and simple to have a nice little pocket to be able to put something in. I'm going to create my second pocket over here, and then we'll start decorating the front. We're going to decorate with this cute, 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 cute Christmas tree image for this one. And I have cut a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock to go behind my tree on the card front. All right, so there's our 2 pockets. And now I'm going to go ahead and I cut this just a skosh smaller than the card front because I wanted to have that nice white edge around that Flirty Flamingo. So this is going to measure, let me see here, this is measuring exactly 5 inches by, let me see here, by 6 3/4 inches. So 6 3/4 by 5 if you're wanting to make one exactly like this. And I can put this description in the dimensions in the description of the video. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly glue this down. And hey, if you didn't catch my video where I made this cute little glue holder box, you might go check that out. If you'd like the tutorial, let me know. I will email you a free copy of this tutorial on how to make this little glue holder box that you can decorate in whatever papers or stamps that you want. And I would be happy to do that just by adding you to my email update list. I can send you that tutorial. So feel free to reach out to me on that. Okay, now we've got the Flirty Flamingo piece down. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. So let's go ahead and get those on there. And isn't the back side of this just as cute too? I love that they've done colors on both sides because that also would make a really fun card. Now I am going to be generous with these dimensionals just because if you mail this stuff, you don't want it to get too smushed in the mail. So I'm pretty generous with dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and peel those off. really quickly. Grab them and peel them off. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this fairly close to the bottom of the card or the pink panel. And it just almost, it's going to go side to side. As you can see, it covers up almost the whole bottom there. But I want to leave room up here because I have used a die cut and made this cute little star for the top of my tree. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on now. If you've got any stickers or die cuts or stars of some kind, that's great. You could always just add a little bow, or it's cute the way it is. You could leave it just plain. But I thought it just needed a little tree topper up there, and I thought, what better thing for Astra stamping to add? I took the Merry Christmas stamp out of this set, and I heat embossed it on some Poppy Parade cardstock last night with some white heat embossing gun, and there you've got it. And it's just a simple strip. I didn't do anything fancy. That's all it is. Now, I did make a slightly larger white border, and I believe my white is 1 inch by 4 inches, and then this is 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm pretty sure is how that went. And you could either glue it just straight on, you could offset it so that it's just kind of whimsical. I think I'm going to glue it in the center, but I love these little paper clips that they added. So I think I've got to use one of those on here. I just have to. They're too cute not to. Now you can see I embossed on the back of this card, and I was not happy with it, and I'll tell you why. It's with the photopolymer stamps, they can sometimes get a little, they're flexible, so it didn't get adhered onto the block very straight, and so it just wasn't stamping straight like I wanted to. So I wanted to show you a little tip on that. When you are trying to line up one of these straight ones, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can actually get these on here at an angle pretty easily. See, we've got that all jacked up there. It's not straight at all. Easiest way, if you're wanting to make sure you're getting it as straight as possible, is just lay that bad boy down like that so that it's just straight. It's just loose. It's not touching anything. Nothing's creating it, causing it to bend or anything like that. And then just stick your stamp down on it. And then you've got it pretty straight and pretty ready to go. So that's a tip for getting those on there straight rather than, you know, trying to lay it on there by hand, which is what I did. And I got it all messed up, like right about in here. I like the looks of that. And I think I'm going to put just a little glue on the back, but I'm also going to add a couple dimensionals to this so that it's going to be stuck down on the ends. And yes, I wind up with those little backings off of the Stampin' Dimensionals all over my house. I won't even lie about it. They're everywhere. There we go. We'll just add that cute little ditty there. So there's card number 2. Like I said, that is a pocket card so that I can stick some kind of little number 3. And for this next card, I'm going to be using this guy, the present one. Again, these are larger cards, so I've created that same card base like we talked about before. I left out the pockets this time. So this is a 7-inch by 10.5-inch piece, scored at 5 1/4 and folded. And then I've done the same thing. I've used the evening evergreen and cut that down to the 5 by 6 3/4 inch. And I'm going to glue that here to the front of my card. And the next part, I have to give credit to another demonstrator. She posted the cutest picture of her card where she has taken and made little pop-ups with each of the presents so that you flip up the present and there's a message underneath. So that's what we're going to do as well. We're going to be taking each of these. And so I did this last night. And this is the Merry Christmas stamp, again, out of this same stamp set that comes with this month's paper pumpkin. I did it with what I did, actually, I did the bottom one first. So I did Merry Christmas in the Poppy Parade at the bottom. And then I did the hinge technique. So once I had it stamped here, I moved it up a hinge. I cleaned off the stamp, stamped it in the Flirty Flamingo, and closed the door and got that one. And then after cleaning the stamp the last time, I took it off and I laid it in the center of those two, right where I wanted it to be, kind of like I showed you before. You just want to lay it in there loosey-goosey, just so that it matches up with the other two. And then I came in with the plate, picked it up, inked it with the old olive, and stamped it again. So that's how I got that perfect stamping. And you could do it in the same color. I chose to do it in 3 different coordinating colors with this set. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere. You notice I've made a score line, and that score line's about 1/2 inch of cardstock that I have scored there. And I'm going to just take the tear and tape and run it right along that edge all the way across. And I just kind of eyeballed how big each of these presents were, so I don't have hard dimensions. I didn't make note of any hard dimensions here. I just kind of took some scraps that I had left over from some of the other stuff I cut out and just made them slightly larger than the presents so that I could make that score line. So what we're going to do now is take that backing off. Now you'll notice I put it on the back and folded it over. I'm going to peel that off. And I want to make sure that, and this one might be a little tricky because it's got the bow. So I want the top of the presents to line up with the top of the fold on my sentiment piece. So kind of like that, so that this bow sticks up above. So you see how I've done that. So now when I glue this down, these will pop up. Now I want to give that a really good score, or a really good crease, so that it'll lay fairly flat once we get this all assembled. Okay. And then we're going to glue that down here at the bottom, but we want to leave, we'll be gluing just the back part so that it'll open up. And hopefully, I think I'm going to have to crease. Yeah, I'm going to have to crease that bow a little bit. And I will glue maybe just that part down so that it will fold. It'll stay flat, but the rest will fold. Okay. And so let's go ahead. I think for this one, I am going to do my stamp and seal because I don't want to have to be patient and wait for the glue to dry. I want to go ahead and get moving on this. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pop these just down here, about centered. I'm just kind of eyeballing how that is. So, and I did not put anything on that ribbon. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue there. It's going to relax and it's going to lay flat. Now, I'm going to refer to the stack because I want the stack to look just like this. So the next one above is going to be this cute little pink one. Now, you could stamp whatever sentiment you want inside of here. I'm adding, I put 2, just the word 2, and it is from this stamp set that comes in this kit. And the reason why is I'm going to put my granddaughter's name in one and my grandson's name in one and mom and dad's name in one so that they all have their own little present that has the name in it. And I'm just going to keep doing like I did on that first present. Now I want to be sure and give room for the other packages to open without them running into each other. So I'm leaving just a little gap. And you're getting the first run here. I have not already made one of these. I prepped this stuff last night and it got late and I got tired and I called it quits before I completed it. Top. Now on this one, I put Oh What Fun, and I did that in the Poppy Parade. And then I used the Flirty Flamingo to add the little snowflakes, stars, whatever you want to call those. To me, they look like snowflakes. And so we're going to add that. And I am just, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of lining up the 2 edges and pressing that down to create that present. That's the one that's going to go kind of here at the side. Now, if you've pre-stamped words, which I would highly recommend you stamp first before you do this, because it might be really difficult to stamp in there after the fact. Definitely pre-stamp in there, but I know, make sure that your words are going to be right side up. So you do want to pay attention that you're not getting it upside down. And come in and stick that down right on that edge. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of burnish that in there good. Okay. And now we're ready to go ahead and assemble this onto the card, okay? So this one we've got stuck down. This one we've got stuck down. Let's go ahead and get these others stuck down. And I think I am going to go ahead and, for the sake of time, we'll use our Stampin' Seal. It is a fabulous product. Okay. Now I didn't push that down very hard yet. I want to make sure that when my present is closed, it's not going to get stuck onto the one in front of it or below it. Now you'll want to use some really strong adhesive here, because if you don't, especially with the excess use that it's liable to get with the little tabs being flipped up and down, they're liable to come loose off of here. So do be sure that you get those adhered well. So now we've got all of our little packages rearranged back on here just the way we had them before. And now I can go ahead and add whatever other embos on here. just to bring some bling. And I am all about using whatever you have on hand. These are some that retired a long while back that I've just had, you know, still hanging around in my craft room. And there's just no reason not to just bling this up. I want to go ahead and I'm going to take my Stampin' Write marker, but you could use any ink pen or whatever you have handy. And I'm going to go ahead and write their names in here. Okay, I want to make sure my pen is working well. All right, so I'm going to put my grandson's name up here first. Okay, and then on the pink package, of course, my granddaughter. And then over here, we're going to put mom and dad. All right, so now we've got all of our little presents. So we've got to Dean, to mom and dad, to Chloe. Oh, what fun. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Like I said, please refer to the description for dimensions on what I used for these, dimensions and colors, and links to how to make envelopes to go with these. If you have any comments, I'd appreciate them. I hope you will go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and keep watching for other alternatives each and every month. In the meantime,